But when you're like, well, I don't think I can afford it. Pretty sure that's bullshit, bud. Pretty sure you could afford it. Pretty sure you could shit $5 a day out of your pocket, probably not even notice, okay? You'll be okay, all right? That's it, all right?
A couple of days ago, I made a video on the whole Invader V situation. I would recommend going back and watching that video before you watch this video. If for whatever reason you can't be fucked to do that. Basically, she made some comments that were proper fucking cunty, to be honest. I'll play a quick clip now to show you.
So being like, I'm broke, I can't afford to sub, that doesn't really track. What you mean to say is, I'm so irresponsible with my money, I can't support the entertainment that I enjoy.
So basically, she showed like a total like lack of understanding. Like she's basically disconnected from the whole world. Basically wanting people's money and getting pissy with people that weren't donating to her during a pandemic, like when obviously people are struggling for money. A lot of people lost their jobs, and she, in her self-entitled brain, couldn't get that through her head and thought that she was more entitled to your money because she sits down and talks on stream. Well, since then, a couple of things have happened, and I felt the need to make another video on this situation. Since the comments were made in the first video, she has made an apology video. What's also interesting, and I didn't cover in my last video, is that she lost 87,000, I think it was, around that number, followers on Twitch. So I find it quite funny that, well, sorry, I think I said apology video, I meant an apology stream. She made comments on a stream, like, I say apologising loosely. She doesn't actually say I'm sorry during this. She's obviously like the Fonz or Chris Jericho. When she tried to say sorry, she's like, I'm but yeah, it was kind of like an apology stream. Well, the whole stream wasn't an apology. She opened it with an air quotes apology. But what I find interesting is that the timeline goes like this: make controversial comments, lose a shitload of followers, apologise. I just find that very interesting. And again, because YouTube's getting very pussified lately, I'll state here, this is just my opinion. I'm not like a news channel. I'm giving you my opinion. I think it's a bit suspicious, to say the least, that when you lose the followers, that's when you realise what you said is cunty. And also, what I'm going to cover today is another streamer by the name of Destiny, who I'm sure many of you have heard of, made some comments on this which are interesting, to say the least, but we'll get to that later. Right now, we're going to indulge in one of my favourite pastimes here, which is watching, air quotes, apology videos / streams. It's my favourite thing, watching influencers, as they like to be called, apologise. So let's get to it.
Hi. You're here right now because you've seen a clip of me, and you're very angry about what I said in that clip. And you're justified in your anger. What I said was tone deaf, insensitive, and stupid. And I recognize that. I recognize that there is no context that I can give that would excuse what I said, so I won't. I can only own what I said, and I will.
I mean, good start, I'm not going to lie. It's a good start. Like, you're not trying to make excuses, you're owning what you said. It's good that you realised what you said was wrong after you lost 87,000 followers. But, you know, it's good that you have learnt this now. But one thing I will say is, do you not have any pets? If you open these sorts of things with a pet, they go a lot better for you.
Cooper, I have no idea how
I'm gonna record this video, Dudette.
The clip that you saw does not represent my true feelings. I've streamed for hundreds of hours, and I've said, support communities after you support yourself first. Subscribe if you have the disposable income to do so. But in that clip, I expressed opinions that I do not hold at all. I said things that I don't mean, and they were vile. I recognize that. What I said was wrong in any context, but especially in the context of a global pandemic. It was very callous and inappropriate. I know that you've lost jobs. I know that you're afraid for your own security, and I know that what I said was incredibly hurtful and wrong.
Oh, you are actually aware that there's a global pandemic going on then. Well, that's a relief, because it didn't really come across that you were aware that this was going on when you made these comments. Again, full credit, full respect, genuinely, full respect that you are owning this, like so far anyway. But at the same time, I don't believe you that you genuinely are upset by this. Like, I don't think that you actually give a fuck. Personally, I think that your attitude was as it was in the first stream when you made these comments, and the only reason you're making these comments now, like I've said, in my opinion, is because you're losing subscriptions. And to say that you now all of a sudden, oh yeah, now I've just realised, oh yeah, I realised that $5 is a lot of money and whatever. Like, no you don't. No you don't. You're saying whatever you have to say to get back in everyone's good books.
V, in the clip you stated that nothing could change your opinion. So why do you have a different opinion now? Would you have the same reaction if the video didn't go viral? I did. In that video, I really stuck by my convictions of what I was saying, in that clip especially, and the clip surrounding it. I doubled down on a bad opinion. It was the wrong thing to do. It was not the right way to deal with the situation. I don't hold that opinion, not truly, that $5 isn't a lot of money, because I know from my own experience that $5 means so much to different people. $5 is the difference between having a meal and having a roof over your head and not. $5 means different things to each individual person, and my comments lumping everybody in together was the definition of disconnected and inappropriate.
Notice she doesn't actually answer the question here. The question was, why do you have a different opinion now? You were so adamant of your opinion before. Why do you have a different opinion now? Would you have changed your opinion if the clip hadn't gone viral? She doesn't. If you watch that clip back again, she doesn't actually answer that. Like, she doesn't say, no, I would have had the same opinion regardless, or yes, I totally would still have the old opinion. She doesn't say that. She just says, yeah, I doubled down. It was wrong. I shouldn't have. And to me, I know this has been a bit pedantic, like, why didn't you answer that? Because I think, as far as from anyone that's got common sense can see, the only reason you're making this is because you've lost followers, and it's like damage control. So, answer the question. Like, you just got, no, it's wrong, it's wrong. Because that's all you hear, yeah, it's wrong. Which is fine. Full credit to owning up to it and saying it's wrong. But that was a genuinely good question. Why now have you changed your opinion when before you were so adamant that you were right and no one could change? You even said, no one can change my mind on this.
It's $5. It's really, like, no one's gonna convince me that what I'm saying is so rude or so unacceptable. If this didn't blow up, would you still feel the same? You mentioned you would never change your opinion, InvaderVie. Yes. I doubled down on a very bad opinion. When I said you're never gonna change my mind on this, I was speaking from a very narrow-minded place. It wasn't the right opinion. It wasn't even my real opinion. It was what I was saying in the moment to stoop low in a low conversation.
Now, I know this clip kind of echoes the previous clip I played, and the question was kind of similar to the previous question. It was like the same premise, which is, you said that previously no one would change your opinion on this matter. Why have you changed your opinion now? Would you have changed your opinion if it hadn't blown up? Yada, yada, yada. It's the same sort of thing. But I'm showing this clip alongside the other one because, again, she doesn't have an answer for it. She comes out and says she was wrong, which, yeah, we get it. You've said that like 50 times already. You're wrong, right? And then she says, when I said it, it came from a very narrow-minded place. Yeah, I agree with you. It came from the mind of someone who's disconnected and also someone who's so fucking self-entitled that they think that they should have your money. Now, I said this in my previous video. What I don't fucking understand is how to say $5 is not a lot. And I know in this apology you've said, oh no, I was wrong, blah, blah, blah. But to say $5 is not a lot. Also, I'd say this. how do you justify the value of what you do? When for $5 or thereabouts I could get Netflix, how do you compare what you do to Netflix? I can sit down and watch you talk for $5, or I can use that $5 to get Netflix. In your mind, your content is worthy of $5, which I think is fucking laughable. So you can sit there all you want and say, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, but to me, that's your true opinion. Yes, it came from a narrow-minded place, but that is what you normally think. Like, it's the same with a lot of these Twitch thoughts or just Twitch streamers in general. They all think like this. They all think like they're entitled to your money, but they don't want you to know that. Not saying all of them, obviously, because I'm not a mind reader. But this is an example. Bad Bunny, all streamers like that, they all think like this, and they try not to let it slip. And then when it slips, because this is how they really feel, they have to do damage control, and that's what this is. This is fucking damage control. What she said the first time around were her real opinions and thoughts. And the reason that now all she can say when people ask her, why have you changed your opinion, is, oh, it's wrong. Yeah, I know I was wrong. The only reason she can say that is because she can't argue. Because her original comments were her actual opinions. So the reason she can only say I'm wrong is because she doesn't have an answer. She can't say, yeah, the reason my opinion's changed is this is how I see things now, is because there is no new way of how she sees things. She still thinks that she deserves your money, but now she's more aware that she can't say that, otherwise shit's gonna blow up in her face.
I've gone over your liked tweets over the past couple days, and I've noticed you like a lot of tweets regarding satire. I was expecting you to claim that your channel was satire. Care to hear your thoughts? I thought about that as well, because I had friends reaching out to me saying, this clip of what you're saying, it's satire, right? Like, you don't mean what you're saying in that clip. But it didn't feel right for me to play the card of, I was just joking, bro. Because what I said wasn't a joke. What I said was hurtful. And it wasn't a joke. And although I was repeating negative things, it wasn't done satirically. It wasn't done tastefully. It wasn't done well. No, I'm not going to say it was a joke, because it wasn't. My behavior in that moment made me the joke, but I wasn't making a joke at that time.
Now, I give her full credit here, because this would have been a card that you could have played, and she's not playing it. So, for me, genuinely, I give her credit here, because this is a card that Bad Bunny has played, of the, oh, I'm just playing a character, like so many other people have played it. And it's very easy to go down that route. And the funny thing is, people believe it. With Bad Bunny, like, she came out when she was getting a lot of shit and went, oh, I'm just playing a character. And people genuinely believe her. So with my Bad Bunny video that I did a few months back, people have messaged me like, on Twitter going, you do understand it's a character, right? No, it's not. It's not a fucking character. It's someone who genuinely holds those opinions, and then when she's getting shit, is like, fuck, oh my god, this is serious. I'll just say it's a joke, and people actually believe it because they're that fucking stupid. She's not a character just because she said a character. Like, you could do literally anything. Like, DSP could come out right now and say, for years, I've been playing a character, you guys. And what? People could go, oh, really? Oh, so all the scummy stuff he did was just an act, lol. No. It's so easy to say after the fact that you're a character. If you're a character, why don't you say it up front? Like, this is the character, blah, blah, blah. You know, at the beginning of all your videos, because you're not a fucking character. Absolutely bullshit. And, yeah, but anyway, I'm going off on a tangent on something completely different. Point is, respect for her to not say that, because it could have been so easy for her to come and say this was a joke, and she didn't. So, genuinely, full credit for owning up to it.
With all due respect, why didn't you apologize before the clip blew up? Oh, okay. That's a difficult question to answer.
Now, before we see her answer to this question, which is a very good question right away, I just want to chime in here, and at the risk of repeating myself, first thing I want to say, which I'm sure most of you are thinking, is why didn't you apologise before this blew up? I'm sure we're all thinking the same thing. You didn't apologise before this blew up because until you lost the 87,000 followers, you didn't give a shit, is my opinion and the opinion of many others, I'm sure. That's why you didn't apologise beforehand. Now, think of it like this, right? Her opinion from the first stream where she said all this shit is her actual opinion. And the reason she never apologised is because she didn't think anything was wrong. If we're to believe that she went away and thought, hang on a second, what I just said was fucked up, or when she was saying it, she knew it was fucked up, but she just said it anyway because she was in a bad place, whatever, right? At what stage did she think to herself, well, hang on a second, what I just said was fucked up? She hasn't. She hasn't reached that stage. The only reason she's now realising that it's now fucked up is because she's lost the followers. Because a lot of time would have passed, and she didn't apologise after. Because it's not... She didn't think she'd done anything wrong, and I still don't believe that she does. And it took losing those followers to actually make her realise that, shit, maybe I better, like, retract my statement then and what I said.
Preemptively talking about a bad take, quite often for a lot of streamers, will highlight it more than if they let it lie. So there have been other statements that I've made on stream that have been questionable. If you stream for any amount of time, eventually you'll put your foot in your mouth. And so that's happened before. I suppose I didn't apologize immediately after making those comments because I didn't realize the gravity of hearing them. I didn't realize how hurtful it was, what I was saying, and how personally everyone would take it. I think that the comments that I made were terrible, and I knew they were terrible in the moment that I was saying them. But perhaps I was too proud in that moment to fully accept the responsibility of what I said. I can guarantee you now, I do not feel too proud to admit that I have done an awful, I have said an awful thing.
Right.
So her answer to that is she didn't know the gravity that her words would have, and she was shocked by this. Now, fine if you want to go down that argument, whatever, but you've got to be proper fucking stupid. Oh, I didn't realise that telling people that they should give me money during a global pandemic and that basically they're being irresponsible. This is what she said. You're being irresponsible with your money. She called everyone irresponsible for not... is the reason that they didn't give money for the entertainment that she was consuming. Her streams being the entertainment. And she didn't realise that that was... Even without the global pandemic, that's a shitty thing to say. But then throw the global pandemic on top of it, it's fucking really cunty. And she allegedly didn't realise. Now, I think that she has the mindset of a self-entitled, streamer, that we've seen many, many times before. But one thing I will say is she doesn't seem like an idiot from the way she's talking and the way she carries herself. I don't know. In my opinion, she doesn't seem like an idiot. But I'm supposed to believe that she didn't realise the gravity of her work. That's full of shit, man. I stand by this. I'm not going to watch any more of this apology video. You can find it on YouTube. I stand by what I've said the whole way through. I think the apology video wasn't that bad. I'm glad that she didn't come out and say, it was a joke, bro. And I'm glad that she owned up to what she said to some degree. But at the same time, I think that that is still her opinion. And the only reason that she addressed it is because she lost the subs. And... that's pure and simple. That's my opinion, and I'd like to hear your guys' opinion. Now, moving on from that. So, Destiny chimed in on this with fucking the worst take ever. So, before we get into what Destiny said, there's a couple of tweets that I want to share with you guys. From Pokimane, the person that sits on the Iron Throne for the Simps at the minute, although she might be overthrown by the OK Boomer girl, but she is the current queen of the Simps. If $5 is an irrelevant amount of money, then she shouldn't need the $5 from your subscription. If she argues it adds up if multiple people give me $5 though, then she should realise it works the same way when it comes to spending. Which I think is a valid point. Never thought I'd agree with Pokimane. Next tweet. Not to mention that tons of people watch streams after a day of hard work or while being broke college students, or a multitude of other situations where they need to be more frugal. Get these shitty takes off my timeline and off my streaming platform. Yeah, I mean, Pokimane is the definition of living life on easy mode. She basically just plays games, watches people's YouTube videos, films herself eating, reacting, and she makes millions. I'm pretty sure she makes millions of dollars a year for doing this shit. So, again, not trying to be a dick, but do we really give a shit what her opinion is on this particular matter? Because, I mean, yeah, but she's right in what she's saying, but I just don't think it means that much coming from her, is my opinion on the matter. Anyway, regardless of that, I found the situation with Destiny. I found his video, or his streamed clip, from a user by the name of BoBlacks. You should go follow him on YouTube. He makes some really good content. But yeah, I found it through this tweet. So we're going to look at what Destiny had to say on this situation with InvaderVie. But again, in the very same way that I'm saying what I've just said about Pokimane's opinion, Destiny is another one of these big streamers that makes money sitting down doing fuck all day. And again, I'm not sure how we can take his opinion seriously. And this is before we've even started up, but let's have a look at what he had to say.
The only thing, okay? Am I scared of Poki's feet? I'm not scared of Poki's feet. I just don't want to argue with her, jumping on like the fucking bandwagon. I already know that if we were to argue, she would agree 100% with my point, okay? She's just jumping on the drama so that she can get her 2 cents in, because it always looks good to tell other streamers to fuck off when they talk about subs. But that's easy for Poki to say because she makes millions of dollars a year doing it, okay? It's super easy. There's no reason to argue against that, okay?
So again, to echo what I just said, Destiny, before we even get into this, like, if we're not to respect, like, Pokimane's, Pokimane's just jumping in to get her 2 cents in, yada, yada, yada. So basically, we shouldn't listen to what she's saying. This is typical sort of behavior. Well, in the same sort of fashion, we shouldn't actually give a shit what you have to say, because, like, Pokimane's in a situation where she's very privileged to basically be a girl and make money off of Twitch. Basically sit down, eat, react, whatever, and simps give her money. So why should we give a shit what her opinion is on someone who has less followers, blah, blah. But Destiny, you're in the same situation. Okay, you're not a girl, but you live life on easy mode also. So if I'm not to respect Pokimane's opinion on the matter, why should I give a fuck what you have to say when you too live the very privileged lifestyle that InvaderVie does? In fact, you have more followers than InvaderVie.
Okay. All right, here we go. Run it down. Where are people going to have the problems? All right. The average 18 plus viewer on Twitch is going to have more disposable income than the average American. We know this is true. Okay. Number one. Number two, $5 a month. It's not really that much money for the average viewer. It's not. That's just true. We know that. You can't disagree with either of these. Okay. Number three, right? The average viewer is not negatively impacted by a $5 a month contribution. We know that as well. Okay. That's easy. Okay. Conclusion, I can't afford it. It's not a valid excuse for not subbing. Now, that doesn't mean you have to sub. Doesn't mean you should sub. Doesn't mean you have an obligation to sub. If you don't want to, because either you're lazy to do it, because you don't want to do it, because you don't give a fuck, okay?
Because you're lazy to do it. A man that sits down on his self-entitled fucking ass for a living and talks bollocks is going to say, oh, maybe you're lazy, too lazy to subscribe to him, to give him $5. Shut the fuck up, you self-entitled cunt. Are you serious? You have the same mindset as InvaderVie, and you jump into her defense, and I'm supposed to give a fuck? I honestly don't understand this mentality that so many Twitch streamers have. Obviously, Destiny has it, to list down $5 isn't that much to the average. How do you know? You're so disconnected with reality. How the fuck do you know? You make shitloads of money from doing fuck all, and you're going to tell me what the average person considers like a lot of money. Oh, $5 isn't a lot. How would you know? You cunt. How would you fucking know? In the same way that how would InvaderVie know? And again, there's a pandemic going on, you fucking cretin. How the fuck? Anyway, let's play the last little bit of this, and then I can fully go in on this guy.
Those are all perfectly valid reasons to not sub. If someone is like, I don't want to sub because I don't give a fuck. I don't want to sub. You're like, oh, cool, okay. Or I don't even know how to like connect that shit. And honestly, I'm too lazy to fucking hook it all up. I don't give a fuck. I'm not typing my credit card in. Fuck that shit. Oh, cool. Amen. That's great. Fine. But when you're like, well, I don't think I can afford it. Pretty sure that's bullshit, bud. Pretty sure you could afford it. Pretty sure you could shit $5 a day out of your pocket. Probably not even notice. Okay? You'll be okay. All right? That's it. All right?
Pretty sure you're a self-entitled fucking moronic cunt. What a piece of shit. You have no idea. And to sit there and list, oh yeah, maybe because you're lazy, blah, blah. If you're lazy, you don't give a fuck. These are all acceptable reasons not to sub. Don't tell me what's an acceptable reason not to sub, you fucking wanker. Like, I give a shit what your list of opinion is. What if you don't feel... But not being able to afford it isn't a good reason. Pretty sure you can. Oh, so some fucking self-entitled piece of shit that is lazy and sits at home making money off doing fuck all is going to tell me, pretty sure you can afford it. And again, I ask you, in the same way that I say in InvaderVie, what makes you think that what you do is worth any money? Like, seriously, what you do is not entertaining. And yeah, okay, sure, some people agree, but $5 to pay for your shit, justify that, man. Justify why $5 a month for your shit. Like, seriously, like, these Twitch streamers got their heads so far up their own arse. It's just fucking unbelievable. Self-entitled, out of touch with the world, and absolute pieces of shit. And you coming out and saying this shit now is not helping InvaderVie. InvaderVie, who actually did a, so-so apology stream or statement or whatever, which, you know, not many people even do. Most apologies are fucking awful, but she at least took some responsibility. And then you coming out and saying this shit hasn't helped. In fact, if anything, it just makes you look like a fucking unbelievable piece of shit as well. But one good thing I'll say for this channel is that at least now I can show, like, well, I have shown with like DSP and stuff, but in regards to Twitch, there are men that think like this on Twitch. There are self-entitled, like, arsehole streamers that are also male. It's not all female, although the majority of them are. There are people like Destiny who are like male thots. Yeah, imagine if he had to actually do a real day's work in his fucking life. Jesus Christ. Anyway, guys, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Again, because YouTube's getting so pussified, I'll once again state that this was my opinion, which I'd imagine is obvious, but, you know, fucking there's a lot of fucking pussies knocking about at the minute. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.